welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Tonight's the night for football, everybody. The bright lights are on, the stage is set, and the crowd is ready. It's Monday Night Primetime on EA Sports. Straight ahead with a nationwide audience tuning in. It's a Monday Night Primetime showdown between these road warriors and the home team. Leading the Monarchs, as always, their head coach. These guys hoping that one loss last week doesn't become two here. And on the opposing sideline, a look at the head coach of the Thunderbirds. These guys coming off the bye week, so we'll keep an eye on it, Brock. Maybe a small advantage to them because of that. So happy you could join us today. I'm Kate Scott with Brock Heward. It is time for some football. And here we go on Monday Night Primetime. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. So here's their offense, taking over for the first time here. And they'll be led out by someone that we'll get a look at here, this second-year passer.
Their loss last week, it really isn't on him. He had a great game. He checked off a lot of the boxes they had for him in the game plan going in, especially the one at the top, Kate, getting him to the end zone. 3 touchdowns, just 1 interception. If he does that again here, they should be winners.
All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
Now run by Scott. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Second down now. They need 7. They'll throw it. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
So they'll head up here 1st and 10 from the 34.
First down, Monarchs.
They'll go play action. Completed to his running back. And he will have this across that 40-yard line before they manage to stop it. They get an even 10 on that play. And that gives them a first down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Markers are reset. Here we go. Ball at the 44. Now it's Scott. Nothing doing here as he only manages the arm.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Hauled in left side. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47.
It's a gain of a yard, and it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Running back sent in motion. 3rd and long for him here. Knocked away, that's incomplete. Opening drive has arrived at 4th down. Well, they connected on 3 straight before that throw, Brock. Might not be perfect anymore on this drive, but they are still moving it well.
And I don't expect that one to interrupt his progress very long. They're still on a mission this series, and he's the one driving it.
And little to nothing on that return as the coverage team gets to him. So here comes their offense for its opening drive. And it'll be their 2nd-year quarterback who's bringing them out.
As you take the field coming off of a real late season bye, you just want to maximize what last week was all about. Making sure that physically, mentally, emotionally, you're recharged so you can go attack the final stretch of this season.
All right, they're out and set. Here we go, 1st and 10. Now a give running right. And he's going to get this one to the 36-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
A run like that, Kate, it just gives everybody a little bit more bounce offensively because you also know It can set the table for more.
36-yard line.
Quick throw is caught. And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11.
You call that receiver screen, and every once in a while, that wide receiver, well, he's got to be his own blocker. He's got to make the first guy or two miss. That didn't happen. Play goes nowhere.
Short pass brought in. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while, you know you could take a lick at any time.
Throw left side, grabbed by Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. He'll get 16 yards on that play. And that means first down.
Come on. Hey, go.
On the ground, E.J. Giddens gets it. Well, a lot of effort there, partners, but no results. He fought through that one stop, but only managed to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A gain of a yard.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, it could be the big gains of next week.
And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's going to bring up first down. Defenders in the area, they still make the connection, Brock. It almost looked like it was just another throw on the practice field.
Yeah, this is how you just develop that just trust factor, that connection. We see it with QBs and tight ends, and the best of them make it look easy.
That hit affected that throw, and it sails out of bounds, incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. So that brings up second down. Back to throw. Dumped off to his running back. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a first down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Well, a tight end that moves the chains on third down, that's a QB's best friend.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And they were ready for this one. No running room at all. He's taken down behind the line.
Hey, I love the jet sweep as much as anybody, Kate. It can be super effective, but here's the deal. Once you send that receiver in motion, well, you're doomed. Because if they bring an edge pressure or there's a blitz, there's really no...
And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. The Thunderbirds have a great first drive and get the game's first points. Well, this coaching staff has got to be a happy partner. A calm and calculated opening drive. Really impressed with the score, how they controlled the football, and they played at their own pace.
Yeah, it's one of those drives that just pays dividends. I know it's the opening drive, but you're just taking some of the starch out of that defense and putting some doubt in their mind. Like, man, they just methodically shoved it right down our throat.
And after they reach the end zone, they'll kick it off and turn things over to the defense. And he mishit this one badly. It's out of bounds short of the 40, and they're going to take over at that spot. So a rarity for anyone playing penalty bingo. It's a kickoff out of bounds and some great field position starting out. They'll work against the blitz. And his Hawes, he's got it. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Now the completion rate is strong, partner. The yards, you got to imagine, will start to come soon enough.
You never go broke taking a profit, and you know this one too, Kate. The crumbs always lead to...
Oh, the cookie. And he's going to be hauled out on a gain across midfield, down inside the 45-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down. Well, he sure has come out throwing a good ball today, and the passing game has really been clicking early on thanks to his efforts.
Yeah, his play's really elevated the start his pass catchers have been able to have as a result. And you know what they're all thinking right now? This could be a game where we all get to put up some serious numbers, especially if he keeps throwing it like this. Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Throwing out to the left. Cut! And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. And that's going to do it for our first quarter here on Monday Night Primetime. 7-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. We're all set to start the second. Offense already out to resume its drive. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. This is Scott. They'll cobble together a yard there. That was Jamari Caldwell making the stop.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage. Be brought down as he sets his offense up with a 1st and goal. Double coverage, deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's target you trust. You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. Looking inside the red zone. He brings it in. Touchdown. The Monarchs start to fight back with their first points of this game. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock. Getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners, but be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game. Yeah. That's well done.
John Parker Romo out to try the point after. Right down the middle. It's good. And the Monarchs tie this game 7-7. Now after tying this game up, they're all set to send her away. Okay, well, that one's over the 20, the landing zone, and almost everything else we got here today. So that football coming out to our 35-yard line. The Thunderbirds and their quarterback ready to take over once again. And they've been willing to both call runs for him and let him ad-lib as he sees fit. He's top 5 for rushing yards by a quarterback this season.
Let's go now. Let's go.
Run here with Giddens. This drive is going to start out with a gain of 5 before they bring him down.
It's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground. You could throw beyond the sticks. You really create some indecision now defensively.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Running in here with Giddens. Nothing doing on second. They get to him behind the line. Now it's going to be 3rd and longer. Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you call 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Up on Washington, left side. And they send him out of bounds as he gets this to the opposing 45. Give him an 18-yard pickup there. And that is good for a 1st down. Throwing off the play fake. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Hooks up with Anthony Gould, complete. And they take him down just as he gets inside that red zone. It's a pickup of 26. And that'll set him up with a fresh set of downs.
Gosh, that is so demoralizing defensively. You do everything right, you draw it up right, you got double coverage, and yet you still can't take the ball away.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. That'll be incomplete to start the new set of downs.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Caught near the goal line. He has the touchdown. The Thunderbirds take a second quarter lead. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Now the PAT try coming up. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Thunderbirds break that tie and now lead by 7.
Monarch 7.
They put a touchdown on the board, and now they'll send it away. Here's a return from the 7. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
And 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Offense into the shotgun set as they line this up. 1st and 10. Receiver in motion, going left. They're going to run it. Here's Scott. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
That's the kind of yardage it's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now, 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3 and out.
They're going play action. To find Haas here. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
And the Toronto first down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Here's Scott on the carry. No question he won that exchange, Brock. He hits for 8 on 1st down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
And again, an interception is dropped. Looked a whole lot like the last play, didn't it, partner? And again, the turnover escapes him. It's going to be 3rd down. They'll try and pick this up on the ground. And this is going to take him off and across midfield there at the opposing 45.
That's good.
An even 10-yard gain on the play. And that gives him the first.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Off the play fake, he'll throw. To the ground it goes, that's incomplete.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
They'll send a receiver left. Again to throw on 2nd. Into traffic, complete. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. This is going to be play number 8 of this drive as they set up for 3rd and 5. Incomplete left side.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
Oh, nice punt and a fair catch. Going to stick them at the 7.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
All right, starting in the pistol this time, Brock. 1st and 10. It's an option right that begins this drive. And the drive starts out small, just 1 yard on that play.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Now carried by Giddens. And he'll get this up to the 19-yard line as he stopped. At That's a pickup of 9. And they're going to have a first down now.
And an Austin first down.
Exactly 2 minutes to play in half number 1. More on Monday Night Primetime in just a moment. So a new set of downs. Here we go. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Strike.
He's going to throw it. Bails out of the pocket quick. And he'll have it up to around the 23-yard line on the play. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first.
4 yards.
They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
2nd and 6.
The positive of that effort, you didn't go backwards, didn't have a negative play. If there was a negative, you didn't get a whole lot done with your legs. Got to be more efficient now on 2nd down.
Hits him on the in route. And he'll be brought down along the 25-yard line. Timeout taken by the defense. They're second. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down.
Ready, set. Let's go now.
Pass play now. That one's nabbed by Allen. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped.
It's a gain of 8.
Give him 8 on that one. And that's good for a new set of downs.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Out of the pistol, it's Giddens. And he can only manage 1 yard. The defenders were at the ready to bring him down. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first.
It's 2nd and 8.
As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down.
Ready.
And they're going to throw out of the gun. Complete out to the right side. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Moving quickly, trying to get set.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Throwing from the gun here. Has him on the quick hitter. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Timeout taken by the offense. They're second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Back to throw. No luck on the connection. It's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
They'll air it out on 3rd. Complete right side to Washington. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. Don't see the hurry up here.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Still sticking with the passing game. Finds him over the middle. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. Offense in the hurry up here.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Sticking to the air here. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Short pass brought in. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. Now the offense going to take its 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. They'll throw. That's incomplete for the moment. We do have a flag down, but it might not be good news for their offense. That's usually where we see holding calls. So the refs get him for holding, and that's going to back this offense up.
Still first down.
Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now 1st and 20.
Cowboy 80.
Throwing it again here. Cut out left. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line.
Complete to number 85.
So we have a 1-score game here at the break. Now it's time for the EA Sports Halftime Report. Scott Hansen, take it away.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
Thanks for that update, Scotch. Welcome back, everyone, for the third quarter. Had a one-touchdown game here as we get you back down to the field.
John Parker Romo to kick off.
Here's Romo to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Anthony Gould. He's stopped on the run back at the 27. Their offense taking the field now for the opening drive of the second half. And they really leaned on that passing game in the first half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the third.
Come on, come on.
First play, they go quick out to the left, complete. And they get him right at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, ready?
Back to the line they come, second down.
At the 27-yard line.
Dropping back to throw. It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And for the second straight play, Brock, they're headed the wrong way. And that's going to bring up a tough third down.
Kate, you know I love to say that the NFL game is a game of adjustments. You come out of halftime, and you know you've got to impact the quarterback. You got to get home. And it's exactly what they do on this opening drive.
This one's in range, but it gets knocked away. Couldn't connect, and that brings up fourth down.
Incomplete.
I'll tell you what, Kate, challenging this guy in a close game, you are tempting fate. He got one hand on it. He gets two. It could have gone the other way.
His work begins at the 31. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Their offense ready to take the field now. And as they get set, partner, gotta imagine they're bringing some urgency with them to the field this drive, too.
Yeah, I think you and I both know in calling these NFL games, that sense of urgency can be replaced.
And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Daniel Scott with the pick. And the Thunderbirds get the football as he makes his third interception of this season.
He'll take over first and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Well, no doubt they envisioned that as the start of a second-half push for the lead. But the defense, well, defense had other ideas, Brock, protecting their team's advantage and taking possession back on the first play of the series.
Not the way you needed to start the half if you were thinking comeback, but exactly the way to start the half if you're trying to take this lead and step on it. That's a defender who senses the need for a splash play and delivers. How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react? Read and react. You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
He's able to drive that pile about a yard. All down there by Deion Walker.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Here he goes, third and long. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Well, that took some force right there. That took some serious defensive effort to force the incompletion. You're not going to see a lot of guys ever let go of a football when they got a first down right in their midst. But that force, that contact, separated man from ball.
Got all of it, but no good. He needed a touch more to clear that crossbar. And it stays a one-possession game at 7 points.
Well, that fooled me. He had it online. That wasn't the issue. Just didn't have the leg he needed. And the ball goes the wrong way as he's denied by the crossbar.
Their offense returning to the field for another possession. And the question out there is, Brock, how early and often are they going to try passing here after they were picked off on the previous drive?
Well, I think the answer to that is how much trust does...
It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And after one play, this drive might already be in trouble. That's going to push him back for second down.
Loss of 9 yards. It's second down. Here we go.
Takes the handoff. Now to throw. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down.
I hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play, and you're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
Third and long for him here. Gets it to him on the screen. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. First, second, third down, sometimes even fourth. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
And he's got this fair catch right along the 12-yard line. The offense getting set to go. They could only set up a lengthy field goal attempt their last possession, Brock. So some room to improve in how far they can advance the football here.
Ready, set.
Offense to the line. Here we go. This is Giddens. And he stopped after picking up 9, so they're set up well here with 2nd and 1.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity in the playbook, whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Finds him quickly on the RPO. And he's tackled after a nice pickup, but we've got a flag down. This could wipe that play away. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. So this is going to be 2nd down and long following the holding flag. Looking in the air here. There's a screen for Giddens. And he's taken down here at the 16-yard line.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
It's his running back. And he is persuaded to go out of bounds just as he gets this up past the 30-yard line. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down. This game has already been a good one for him, Brock. And, hey, there's still time he could add on even more.
And you just feel his aggressive mindset all game long. As long as there's time left, he's going to want to keep on firing and turn a good performance into a great win.
And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. The end result there, 15 yards and a 1st.
First down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 47. Here's Giddens. That one only good for a couple. It's 2nd down.
The ball carrier. He was brought down at his 49-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Ready.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. And it's going to be caught by his back. It's Giddens. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs. So they'll head up here 1st and 10 from the 34.
Let's go now. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Quick throw to the left is complete. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's down very close to that 1st, but looks like he is stopped just in time after a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, it's plays like that. It's just kind of the meat and potatoes. Not going to make any highlight reel, but just the positive, efficient plays on the ground. You need to keep plays and drives alive.
Back-to-back carries here. And what a play. They never gave him a shot to get that single yard. He's going to lose some yardage. 4th down coming up. Now the field goal unit runs on for its 2nd try tonight. From the right hash, about 45 yards out. And that one is good. A little longer, but no problem at all. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
Here in the 3rd quarter, he gets a chance to make up for the miss on his 1st attempt of the game. This time, well, he is totally dialed in, and he gets this one to count.
Fields this one at the 3. Showing a little burst so far. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. Now outruns their offense to take over. They're down 10 partway through this one. Score is 17-7. First down, play action. Throw left side, complete. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
That wasn't going anywhere else on that play. It's one of the ones called specifically for the tight end because they know he's able to get a good release off that play action, and then he gets himself in space to do some damage.
And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. This one goes for 3 yards, and that gives him a first down.
You know what I like about a second and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play-action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
All right, we've reached the final quarter of Monday Night Primetime. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. Ball just a yard shy of midfield, 1st and 10. Throwing off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
We call play action. Would have been better to actually give it to him on a carry right there, Kate. The front was fooled for about a split second, if that. And that play call ended up working in their favor as it leads to a sack.
Throwing the out route complete. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
He'll send him over right. Throw here, 3rd down. It's in or no, they dropped another one. Kicks dropped on back-to-back plays, Brock. But it does force a 4th down. They're going to go for it here, trailing in the 4th. Empty the backfield, motion him right. Here he goes, got to have this on 4th down. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Well, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
He's going to throw it again. All in left side. And they're going to be set up at the 11 after that play. They get 27 on the play. And that means 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
On the red zone now. And he is in. Touchdown. The Monarchs make it a 4-point game here in the 4th. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
They can tack on one more now, bring things back to within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from them. A field goal would tie this game in the 4th.
17. Monarchs 14.
Ball is set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Here's Gould on the return. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Now this offense ready to head back out. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. They go play action on 1st down. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Quick to the left, it's caught. And he maybe got back to the line there, but no further. Ooh, after that play, we can tell he's hurting. He's someone they need to help their playoff hopes. Training staff working on him now.
60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Third and long. They're going to throw. And they can't connect on the third down deep shot. Love the courage they had to try it, but it's incomplete, and now we've got fourth down.
So many coaches love third downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know got to execute and convert on these third downs.
That outruns their offense. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
To number 89. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
2nd and 6 coming up here.
Here we go, set. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Off the play fake, he'll throw. He's got a man left. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush your passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
Another drop. The last two plays both should have been intercepted, but neither could be brought in. However, Brock, they do at least force this fourth down. The Monarchs out for the punt. Secures this at the 17. And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. The offense headed back to the field. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. Here we go now. Time to start this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing now off the play action. Behind the line, he lost that football. And they scoop it up. Time to push for the line. And they don't get much after recovering the fumble, so a near turnover ends in a loss of yards. Ooh, so close to a big play defensively there, Brock, but now these guys got to stay out there. They were unable to bring in the fumble. They just forced.
They do. Got to bring a little bit of juice, but kind of like a boxer when they get a guy cut, they know. If I get that first cut, I can make them bleed. And you get that ball out the first time, I guarantee you, I promise you, those guys are thinking they'll get it the next.
First down now, ball at the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
From the gun, they're going to hand it off. That is exactly why you rally to the football. He got through one tackle, but the next guy gets him for a loss. So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL, but it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock him behind the sticks. Job well done there. Can't cover it much better than that really well covered Kate on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
He'll throw it. Knocked away and hits the ground, incomplete. That brings up 4th down.
Such a big part of that breakup, Kate, or any breakup as a corner, is your positioning relative to the target. And really, the timing of it all. You could be in the right spot, but if you don't time it, that ball is still caught at this league. That corner played that one nearly perfectly.
Now this offense getting set to work here. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Pass play on 1st and 10. Can't connect over the middle. It's incomplete.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
They're going play action. Caught by the tight end, running that corner. And he is taken down as he drives this to the enemy 40. A gain of 26 yards there. And that's going to bring up 1st down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
Catch is made down the right sideline. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10.
A gain of 27 on the play. And the Toronto first down.
Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's able to manage a couple on that run. We've got a break in the action. Looks like someone was shaken up on the play. Medical personnel out now to attend to him. 8 yards to go, and let's see how they approach this second down. He'll look to throw. Dumped off to his running back. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
As an offense, you don't call a screen, Kate, expecting to gain just a few yards. You call it expecting to break off something big and substantial. But it's up to that defense to stay ahead of it to keep it contained to something much smaller. Case in point right there.
Looking to throw. Toward the end zone, but incomplete. That's going to force them into a fourth down decision.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. Quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football. The prospect of overtime now, Kate's right on the horizon thanks to that field goal. His mindset, though, well, it's the same as all his teammates out there who are about to take the field. Let's go get this ball back. Let's find a way to win this thing in regulation.
There's Gould on the return. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. This offense getting all set for this series. And in a tie game, we've been sensing a breakthrough coming, Brock. Might this be the drive where we finally see one side get the edge over the other?
Well, if it is, Kate, you know and I know it's about play-to-play execution. And more than likely, making sure they can convert in some of those situational downs. That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
So rather than let the 2-minute warning hit, the defense burns the first of its timeouts.
It's fourth down.
The Thunderbirds out and ready to punt. This was not hit well. It's headed for that sideline. We're down to the 2-minute warning here in Austin. Monarchs pushing to get within range for a game winner. The ball's on the 48. Here we go. First down. Plowing up the middle. And he powers ahead for about 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Here he is to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
Completed to his running back. And this is going to be short. Quick stop by the defense. Bring up 4th down. Timeout taken by the defense. They're second. As they'll get together and discuss with 4th down coming up. On now comes their punter. And this is going to be his 4th effort tonight. And he'll scrape together what he can on the return. He gets it back to the 20. Their offense running back out now. The game really in their hands at this point, Brock. We're going to see whether it's a celebration coming up next or overtime. He'll look to throw it. Really? No, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. After the sack, let's see what the offense does here. 2nd and 18 coming up.
At the 12-yard line.
Setting up to pass. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. 3rd down coming up.
Sets up a 3rd down and 18.
Let's go. Ready.
Here he is to throw. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. So out now comes the punter. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And hey, at least he held onto the football, but they will get nothing on that return. Now after that play, we've got somebody shaken up, and you don't want to see serious injury in the midst of their playoff push. He's being looked at here. Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Upping the pace here as the clock continues to run.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Off the play fake, he'll throw. Brought in inside the 20. And the stop comes at the 15-yard line as he gets them into the red zone. They'll get 31 yards on the play. And that is good for a 1st down.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw when you throw it that deep outside the numbers that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
And he got what he could there, rolling to the 14. Working quickly here.
Taken down at the 14-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Takes the handoff, now to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. 8 seconds left now. Well, he already has himself 1 interception in his game partner, and throws like that are going to find him another if he isn't careful.
Yep, those are the throws you want to intersperse and sprinkle into your passing game, because if they become the norm and you're constantly thrown into coverage, that's when 1 pick becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, and on and on.
Oh, he missed it! The pressure got to him on that short attempt! And barring a miracle, we're set up for overtime!
That's the life of an NFL kicker, a chance to be a hero, and unfortunately, he can't end this one. And now, well, now it's incumbent upon his teammates to pick him up and maybe give him that game-winning opportunity coming up in overtime.
Getting a pistol formation here first as they come to the line. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. Trying to fight free, he can't do so. They've got him behind the line. Now let's see, Brock, if they call their final timeout. That's going to do it for regulation, so some bonus football in store for all those fans in the stands. We're headed for overtime. And there's still something being celebrated by the fans, isn't it, Brock? A coin toss might not decide the game anymore here in overtime. Both sides guaranteed a possession now, even if the first team scores a touchdown. And if we're tied after those 2 series, it is next score wins.
John Parker Romo.
Now hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here in overtime. Here's Gould on the return. Good work so far. He's got room. And he showed some nice bursts on that run back, didn't he? Getting them all the way out to their own 40. This offense making its way back out now. Well, they couldn't quite get the job done in regulation, partner, but the home crowd rising now to fire them up and hopefully help them start this overtime period by taking the lead. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. A chance to take the lead and set themselves up for a win. Gotta make this count as they come up on 2nd down. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. They need 2 here on this 3rd down if they want to keep this opening drive of OT going. Gibbons will get this off his own read. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. It's a meager 2-yard gain, but that's enough to award them the 1st down.
Austin, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
They're going to try and throw it here. Has him on the quick hitter. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's 2nd down.
Out of bounds at the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
He's going to throw this one. And they get to him again. It's sack number 4 in the game for him. This one makes it 3rd down.
Come on, come on.
Pass play coming here. That's Cox. He's got Washington. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Dive play straight ahead. And there's the stop, but he's got 9 yards on first down. Now hold on a moment, folks. You got a player in some discomfort after that one. He's going to receive some assistance as we take a brief timeout. Well, after a quality effort on the last play, just really need to fall forward here to pick up that first down. They stopped him just in time. He got back to the line, but denied the yard they needed. Third down coming up. Third down, opening drive of overtime, but they only need a couple of inches here. Option design here. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. He only finds a window for 2, but that's still enough for a first down.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Ready.
Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. Well, he had to power through one tackle just to get back to the line that time.
On the stop.
Ready, set.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is second and 10.
At the 25-yard line.
Changing things up, they're going to throw now. And this one hurts. Had a touchdown in his hands, but he couldn't hold on. Third down coming up.
Brings up a third down.
Still 10 yards to get this first down as they come to the line. Third and long for him here. That one's nabbed by Allen. He will not score, but that does set him up, Brock, with first and goal, less than a yard away from the end zone.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
You be keeping this option on first and goal. Well, so much for finishing things on the ground, huh? He is stopped at the line. They're going to have to regroup now on second and goal. Thankfully, not a big loss last play. They're at the 2, second and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. The defense takes its third and final timeout. 1 yard, all that's needed. This is third and inches. Trying to get it with the option here. The stand continues. This one doesn't even make it back to the line, Brock, and it sets up fourth and goal. This is biggest moment of the game so far. An important field goal try here.